So when you guys say that there's going to be a soft launch between you guys, what exactly is the soft launch? So what does that entail?
It just means that we're basically gonna work together to share customers and then support those customers together as we implement the integration, right? So the integration takes time, right? It takes development, but some of the things we can do easier than others. So it's going to be 23 is going to be like a gradual integration as we add more ability to see things. Like, for example, one of the things we'll do, hopefully in the nearer term, is like on the Sera platform, when the tech rolls up to a job, they put the model number in there as like job number one. What we'll do is we'll interface into the Bluon database, pull the model homepage up so that tech will be basically able to see what they would see in the Bluon app relative to that model, all the manuals and then a bill of materials, and then also be able to check availability in a similar way. Eventually, it'll be one workflow, but 2023 will be more of a gradual integration. But more importantly, we're sharing customers to help them together, and then we're being able to measure that success. So we'll see, these teams are on both. Look how much more effective they were, because we can see it right now. We have eyes on how much more efficient, productive those guys were as a result of using both platforms in a combined manner.
That's awesome. One thing I want to say that I appreciate about you guys is, when people were switching from certain platforms, rather than saying, hey, here, give me your money, we're not set up for it yet, for the conversion or whatever, just give me your first payment and we'll make it work. Like, you were literally telling people like, hey, we can't do this until January 1st or whatever the date was, but then we'll be able to make sure this is as smooth as possible for you. And that really kind of hit home for us, because a lot of these other times, and I'm not going to name any softwares, that's not what I'm trying to do, but sometimes it's like, hey, this is going to be this long of a process, just make that first payment and we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? And,
right.
And I really appreciated about that. And obviously we are going to be switching to something at some point where it's scary, running a business, switching to CRM. That's the lifeblood of your company. So, I mean, it's scary. Anybody coming from almost anywhere can go to Sera, correct? Now?
Oh, yeah. We have companies over 100 trucks all the way down to a couple of trucks. And so we have all different sizes of trucks, revenue sizes. It's just about anything and everything. And we've seen the same exact thing. Immediately we see in the first few months a 50% increase in the margins of the company. I see about a 40 to 50% increase in the average ticket by the technicians, because we get rid of all that extra work that you don't have to do anymore while you're out in the field, so that you can focus more on taking care of that customer instead of trying to go sit in your truck so you can just put a proposal together when you have software. Right. I mean, why you got to go back to your truck to do that? I mean, it's just simple as this. It's like, why do you have to go back into the price book for each task or something like that? When with Sera, you pick a task and it's going to tell you everything else you need with that. You don't have to go look for it. And you just go, oh, yeah, I want this one, and this one. And then not only that, when you're doing proposals for a complete system or anything like that, you put in one system and it's already going to tell you what the next system that you should propose in your good, better, best scenario. So you can do 10 system bids, you can do 3, 1, whatever you want to do. But what really makes the difference with our software is the way we present it to the customer. And this is what makes the techs really successful, is we really believe that memberships drive these companies and drive the techs' pay. Because with these memberships, customers are automatically shown the amount of money they can save on every transaction that they do with you. And so there's an immediate savings that we always focus on. When you talk about the savings instead of the price, now you have somebody that's interested in listening. What? You're giving me this discount already? It's $1,200 cheaper if I buy this membership for $100. I'll take that deal all day long. And now we're having more and more sales because the customer feels like you're doing something for them.
I love that. That sounds like a Christmas present, what you just said. That is amazing. And you may know she is, Mr. Billy, but Cora Whale. So she's out on the West Coast. She's a woman in the industry, absolute killer as a maintenance tech, does $3-4 million in revenue as a maintenance tech. And we were talking about last night about, guys, you need to be offering options to your customers, and went over that whole ordeal. So when you have these CRMs that make it easy, because so many guys out there want to be the good techs integrity wise. They're afraid to offer something because they feel like they're crossing the line or being a selling tech or whatever they want to call it, like it's bad. But something like this that just lets that guy who knows how to turn wrenches, makes it easier for him to put the options together to give them to a customer, that's a game changer. It helps with their communication because it's laid out. You're really just reading it to the customer, and you don't really got to explain much. They can read it and say, oh, I want this one. You know, none of us shop without options. We don't go to restaurants where there's one thing on the menu, or what would you like to drink? Well, all we have is Coke. I guess I'll take Coke then. You know, like none of us do that.
Yeah, offering options is the number one thing. But the one thing I can tell you that I try to teach techs, you know, because I have many techs that work for me throughout the years and still to this day, is let's stop selling. Let's stop selling and start educating the customer about what their options are, and let's let them make a decision. And when we allow the customer to make a decision, that's when they're going to buy from us. And another piece of advice here for all the ladies that are listening. When you go to that home and that lady answers the door, there's no one listening to that lady. Their kids aren't listening to her. The husband's not listening to her. No one's listening. And if you will honestly listen to this lady and allow her to say whatever she has to say and pause before you reply, in other words, kind of slow yourself down, take the information in before you speak, that lady's going to buy from you because no one's listening to her. And if you show compassion and listen to this person, they're going to buy from you. And now you've got a relationship that's a great one that's going to allow you to be trusted. And then when you come back to the home, you listen to them again. And if you'll just do that, you'll succeed. And everybody that's on this podcast or listening to this thing, if you're married, you know what I'm talking about. What does your wife always say? You just don't listen to me, right? And that's all they want. They just want to be listened to. So don't try to sell them. That's the last thing they want. For all you techs that don't want to sell, I'm going to show you how to sell a ton of stuff without even selling. You just learn to be quiet and you'll sell a lot. You got 2 ears. 2 ears and 1 mouth. So let's listen with the 2 ears and let the 1 mouth be quiet, and you'll sell more than you've ever sold before.
Yeah, I'm glad he said that because everybody who was here last night that heard what we were talking about, Mr. Billy just said that in a nutshell, what we were trying to explain. Hopefully you guys take last night and what he just said and you roll that together. Like I say, I want all of you guys to be the best that you can be, have the most options, get paid what you deserve, to be able to make that kind of money that's financially life-changing, and each and every one of you deserve it. That's why I bring up these conversations.
I want to take it one step further. I'm going to tell you 3 things to do to get the customer to buy from you, and it's without ever trying to sell anything. And it's as simple as when you pull up to the door and you knock on the door, you ask her, did I park in the right spot? You're going to get yes, right? So you've already got a positive response and you asked her a great question. The second one is, do you mind if I put on my shoe covers and step inside? Well, you're going to get a yes. So now you've gotten 2 yeses and you haven't even gone to the problem yet. The third one is the one that closes every deal. And this is just real simple, guys. Try it tomorrow, even on a zero money tune-up that you're going to probably go on tomorrow because the weather's not here yet. This is how you sell stuff in that situation. The third question is, Mrs. Jones, my dispatcher has told me all about your situation, but in your own words, do you mind telling me what you've experienced? And if you do that and stop talking the second you finish that sentence, you're going to sell that job.
Sorry, that deserves a round of applause. It's so true. And I've learned that in different things. And that's what y'all need to realize. Some of the things that you need to do to be successful, it's not, getting the person in the headlock, giving them a noogie, trying to steal their wallet. It's shut up, listen, be that guy who's very technical, who can explain the problems to the customer. And I agree, listen, some of the best times I ever had, and I think that's why I thrived in residential and I loved it, because I got a big mouth. That's why I do a podcast. And I love making those relationships with customers and just listening, like old World War II vets or whoever it was, like just hearing people's stories. Like it was fun to me. And the fact that I was getting paid to do it, the customers were getting all these issues that they didn't even know they could fix taken care of. My boss is happy because I'm making extra money. I'm like, this is a dream come true. And then I went into management and was like, what the hell did I do? You know, but should have stayed in the damn truck.